Welcome to Story Time. I'm so glad to see you here. I hope you're enjoying your last week of school online or summer if you decided to join a little bit later or re-listen to a story. So today I'm going to share with you the story When I Was Young in the Mountains. This is by Cynthia Gallant and illustrated by Diane Good. It's a Reading Rainbow book. So if you're ever on Reading Rainbow on YouTube, then this might be a book that you might want to look at as well. When I was young in the mountains, grandmother spread the table with hot cornbread, pinto beans, and fried okra. That is also one of my favorite meals. I would love to eat that. When I was young in the mountains, we walked across the cow pasture and through the woods carrying our towels. The swimming hole was dark and muddy, and sometimes we saw snakes, but we jumped in anyway. How many of you go swimming in a local creek or pond or anything close to your house like that? On our way home, we stopped at Mr. Crawford's for a mound of white butter. Mr. Crawford and Miss Crawford looked alike and always smelled of sweet milk. Now this store looks a lot different from the stores that we go into today. This is a general store. If you ever watch TV shows like Little House on the Prairie, you might notice the general store that they have in those stories as well. When I was young in the mountains, we pumped pails of water from the well at the bottom of the hill and heated the water to fill round tin tubs for our baths. That is really different from how we do things today, right? We just go in our bathroom and run water from the faucet. Do any of you still have wells at your house? When I was young in the mountains, we went to church in the schoolhouse on Sundays and sometimes walked with a congregation through the cow pasture to the dark swimming hole for baptisms. So that's something much different than what we see today too, right? So times have really changed. We no longer go to church at the schoolhouse, right? And it's definitely not a one-room schoolhouse. My cousin Peter was laid back into the water and his white shirt stuck to him, and my grandmother cried. What does this look like? What do you think is going on here? What do you see? Does it look like chickens and an axe? I don't know what's going on. Let's see what's happening. Surely she's protecting them. When I was young in the mountains, we listened to frogs sing at dusk and awoke to cowbells outside our windows. Sometimes a black snake came into the yard and my grandmother would threaten it with a hoe. So looks can be deceiving, right? She's not after the little chicks there. She's trying to protect them. Oh, I see it. You can see that snake really, really well right there. Now we have come to learn that black snakes are really important to the environment. In fact, they eat rats and mice and other types of rodents to help protect our homes. So maybe don't chase after black snakes with a hoe, okay? If it did not leave, she used the hoe to kill it. 4 of us once draped a very long snake, dead of course, across our necks for a photograph. This is one of my favorite parts of the story. When I was young in the mountains, we sat on the porch swing in the evenings, and grandfather sharpened my pencils with his pocket knife. Grandmother sometimes shelled beans and sometimes braided my hair. The dogs lay around us, and the stars sparkled in the sky. A bob white whistled in the forest. Bob, 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 white. I still love hearing the bob white calls from birds in my area too. And there's nothing better than sitting on a porch with your family, right? When I was young in the mountains, I never wanted to go to the ocean, and I never wanted to go to the desert. I never wanted to go anywhere else in the world, for I was in the mountains, and that was always enough. The end. So the author, Cynthia Rylant, must have really enjoyed writing this book. It seemed like it was really special to her. And she loves her home. She loved the mountains, or at least her family did. And so it's just a wonderful, wonderful story to share about our love for home and our love for family, and how important it is just to have that sense of place and that sense of who you are in your place. So beautiful, beautiful story. I love it so much. And again, I think because it's a Reading Rainbow book, it's also a Caldecott winner, that you should be able to find it online, maybe with a little bit more background information than what I'm giving you. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.